Welcome to this live breaking news special edition. Hannity, Iranian aggression across the globe. Today, the president blamed the escalating tensions in Iran, in part on the outrageous deal that Biden-Obama made with the rogue state, probably the dumbest foreign policy decision in the history of mankind. Take a look.
We're going to be speaking with the UK, and this only goes to show what I'm saying about Iran. Trouble, nothing but trouble. And remember this, the agreement, the ridiculous agreement made by President Obama expires in a very short period of time. It was a short-term agreement. That was a ridiculous agreement. And it goes to show you I was right about Iran. And let's see what happens.
Also today, the president confirms Senator Rand Paul will be assisting in negotiations with Iran. I don't know if I agree with Rand Paul on this one. With reaction to this dangerous unfolding situation, President Trump's attorney, former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani, I want to say this delicately because I have sources that I know are sources you know well. And I know you have been told what I have been told. We know exactly which nuclear sites are the most dangerous, and we know the plans have been long drawn up to take them out. And I have been told, and I think you've been told, Mr. Mayor, and feel free to go as far as you want to go with this, that it is beyond doable, and it will happen if this continues.
Well, I have the benefit of having been in Albania for 4 days at a conference in which we had 50 nations represented, significant numbers of our military, including several general officers, a 4-star general, two 4-star generals. And I think the colonel was saying, could we effectively take them out 100%? And maybe we would need nuclear weapons for that. But the point is, we could set them back 5 or 10 years. I'd be happy with that. If we could make it impossible for them to develop nuclear weapons in the next 5 to 10 years, I'm convinced there'll be regime change there. I mean, it could happen this year or next year. The other thing that's underestimated, and I saw significant video evidence of this, and I have a couple of interviews I want to show you. The protests in Iran are very significant.
By the way, that's
very
real.
significant. I saw the video evidence of thousands of people in the street, and it's gone beyond just political protests. Taxi drivers, all the teachers in Iran went on strike, and they're carrying posters, down with the Ayatollah. That's in risk of their lives. Down with Rouhani. And they're chanting support for Madam Rajavi and the people in the coalition government. And this is fact. You can see it. And you also see signs. I saw several signs of men selling their kidneys for $500 in order to feed their families. So they're in significantly difficult trouble. So if we had to hit them back, and I agree, that should be the last resort, we could do serious damage to all of their nuclear facilities. We take some of them out. We set the others back 5 or 10 years. We also should immediately take out their naval capacity so they stop screwing around with the Straits of Hormuz. The UK should help us with that, or they should resign from NATO.
Well, you know Theresa May is weak. The president knows she's weak.
We may have Boris Johnson.
Know she's weak. Let's be honest here.
And when the colonel said before, we've got to get allies, well, good luck getting France. And Germany. I mean, they're doing business with Iran. Now, remember, Iran regime has been in power for 40 years. They have committed hundreds of thousands of crimes against humanity, slaughtering people in the street. I have seen pictures of 120,000 of those people. I have a book at home that has 20,000 of them, all listed and completely authoritative. I also can tell you that in 1988, they killed 30,000 people in 2 months. And since Rouhani has been in office, they've killed almost twice as many people as Ahmadinejad did. So this man is another murderer, a mass murderer. These people commit crimes against humanity, and Europe gives them money. And we gave them over $1 billion. That $1 billion went to kill people. And Obama and Biden should be ashamed of themselves for doing that.
You know the president longer than I know the president. I just want your insight. And this is just what I know. He is serious. This is my take. He's not going to put boots on the ground ever. There will not be a protracted war if Donald Trump is president. Also, you know about this emerging coalition, as I do, something that was never possible 5 years ago. Maybe they don't have the weaponry, but the Saudis, the Egyptians, the Jordanians, the Emirates are all with us. So my question to you is, do you agree with me that the president will stand by his campaign promise, no boots on the ground, but if he strikes, it will be over quickly? Do you agree with that?
I would not test him. I think that is absolutely right, and I think he's capable of doing that. And at this conference, there were representatives of the Saudi Arabian government, and they have joined a coalition. There is an alternative. The MEK is an alternative. The NCRI, group of 50 organizations, is an alternative to the government, and they're willing to go in there and do the tough work. All they need is our support. And if they test him, they test him, they're going to be very, very. They're going to regret it. He can take them out in significant ways and also set their economy back 10 years, and they can't stand that right now.
You know, it's funny. My prison guard mother used to always say, Mr. Mayor, you'll rue the day. You know.
Well, just like the general right after, just like the admiral rather right after the attack on Pearl Harbor, the Japanese admiral who said we've awakened a sleeping giant, and then you see what happened. Right. What happened to Japan?
And we also know Israel is really good at this. The Israelis took out Iraq in the 80s. The world condemned them, and they took out Syria going under the radar, and nobody even talks about it.
I base this on 3 military generals that I spoke to who know this better than I do, and I think better than the colonel does. We are capable of doing such significant damage to them without nuclear weapons that we could set them back, their nuclear capacity and their economy, 10 years.
We have many similar friends. I know you know what you're talking about, because I have.
I don't know what I'm talking about. The people that I speak to know what they're talking about, and I just had the opportunity to spend 4 days with them and see it firsthand.
I know for a fact you're correct. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you.